Hi guys, how you doing? I hope you're doing great. So for today's video, we have this book. I'm gonna be reviewing it. I think you will like it. So let's get to it. As you can see, Frankenstein. This is a classic of literature, maybe, or for sure you have already heard about it, but maybe you haven't read it, or maybe you have read sort of a kids version or something like that, but you will love this version. This is from Larousse, and this is actually a series of books for people who is learning English, and you will find this series for beginners, intermediate, and advanced learners. So this is very interesting because according to the level, you will find different sort of structure within the book. For example, for beginners, you will find a lot of pictures, like almost like a book for children, but it's actually pretty good for anyone who is starting with English. Then you have the intermediate version. Regarding that, I'm honestly not sure how it looks because I haven't been able, or I haven't had the opportunity to see a beginner's version, intermediate version, sorry, and this is the advanced version for Frankenstein. I really recommend it. It's from Larousse. This is the book Frankenstein. You can find as well for the same series for advanced Larousse learners, Dracula, the picture of Dorian Gray, and you will also find The Great Gatsby. No worries, in the future I will be reviewing them as well, but for now we have Frankenstein. Now, let's get to the story itself, okay? In a nutshell, we're going to try to summarize the book. I think Frankenstein is a very well-known story, but honestly, after having read, sorry, the actual story, my perception of Frankenstein changed, especially regarding what we know as Frankenstein. But actually, Frankenstein is not Frankenstein. Frankenstein is the creator of this creature, of this demon, Victor Frankenstein. But the name of the creator, there is no name for it actually. Demon, creator, whatever you want to call it, but Frankenstein is the researcher, the creator of this creature. I know it sounds weird, but a lot of people used to get confused about it and used to call Frankenstein Frankenstein, but Frankenstein is the doctor, the creator of this creature. Now, what is it about? Normal, like a common human, a man of science, which is Victor Frankenstein. He belongs to I would say, a rich family and a well-educated family, but he's a normal guy, at least normal in general. After that, he decides to leave home, start his studies in a university, starts learning about science, biology, these kind of intriguing and interesting things for him, as he was a researcher and a scientist. So he did that, and until this part of the story, everything was going actually pretty well. You never notice anything weird or something like that. Normal guy from a well-educated family starting studies. Okay? Introduction. Now, the middle of the story. Very simple, because here things start changing and I don't want to spoil you the whole story. So, in a nutshell, he creates a creator. He was experimenting within his lab. He was trying to create life out of nothing, but in the end, things turned out not to be what he meant to do. So this creature appears, and Victor was actually terrified himself, because he didn't mean to create something like this. It was a demon, sort of a creator nothing like a human. No, this was a demon. Yeah, he was terrified. He ran away, and the problem here is that this demon, this creature, was free to live because Victor had run away. And what will happen after that? We don't know. Well, I know, but you will see. Now, without telling you anything in between, I will tell you something about the ending of the story. Well, I could say this is sort of a tragedy. Uh, I wouldn't even consider this story of a sad story because it's everything but sad. This tragedy is sometimes you feel so angry with this creator. He was that evil and mad. Honestly, I've seen Frankenstein in movies and other reference from Frankenstein in different movies, and I always thought that this kind of creator was a misunderstood creator and poor Frankenstein. Yeah, oh, we must comprehend him and understand him. He is he's a being that was created by mistake, and he must be understood. And maybe if people just try to get to know him better or something like that, well, that's everything but true. This this F creator is awful, is a demon, and well, he or it or she, this is just like a being, destroys and finish Victor's Frankenstein life. He makes him into a wretched human being. So yeah, well, that's regarding the story. You will like it. This is pretty interesting, and reading the actual story is much better than just having references from movies and these kind of things. um, Mary Shelley is the author of the book, of course. uh, well, he actually created a piece of art here. Now, what about my thoughts? Do I like the book? Yes, I do like the book. Regarding the vocabulary and the English part of the book from Larousse series for English learners, well, you will find a lot, a lot of phrases and even complete sentences highlighted within the book. And beside its page, you will find listed these highlighted words with their meanings, or I wouldn't say the meaning of the word or the phrase itself, because sometimes it is not the meaning, but as it is a book for advanced learners, you will find sort of an interpretation of these words or these phrases. For sure, if it's just a word, a single word, it's going to be the meaning. But for expressions or these kind of sentences, you will find yeah, the interpretation of the phrase or the quote or the whole sentence. I like it, yes. No, I think it's okay. So just beside the text, you have the words enlisted in Spanish, English Spanish for sure. You have the words highlighted. And what else? Well, the amount of repetition for these words, the words you're going to find highlighted within the book, for me is actually pretty good. I mean, you start reading the book and you find a lot of words you haven't read, like maybe never. A lot of new words, new structures, new expressions, but not just that, because of the data. Sorry, because of the date of creation of this book. Frankenstein is in a pretty old story and is written in old or antique English. You will find how can we call them? Well, you will find all English structures, all English words. This is also written in a very formal language, as Victor Frankenstein was a well-educated man during his life. So language is pretty interesting, pretty different from what we are used to. And I would say this increases the amount of knowledge we can get out from the book. Um, what else I would say it's important? Well, I was saying about the repetition of the words. You'll find a new word maybe within the first, let's say, 10 pages, but within the book, you will read again these words a lot of times, not highlighted again maybe. But let's say you read the word, whatever, apple, in the first page, and you didn't know what apple means. You have the word apple highlighted within the book with the meaning, and then maybe 5 or 10 pages after that, you read the word apple again, not highlighted, but you read the word apple. And after 20, 30 pages, you read the word apple again. Maybe this time it's highlighted again in a different context. And, this sort of repetition is pretty important in order to learn new words, new phrases, new expressions, because if you read something and you never read it again, it's not going to work. You need exposure, constant exposure to this language. And this is something that works pretty well within this book series, I would say. Um, is I mean, as a normal book, or usually it works, is break down into chapters, and each chapter is about 10 to 15 pages. I would say, I'm not sure, but yes, that's going to be the book. I really recommend this series. I also have some books of from this series for beginners, because I use this series with my students. So maybe if you want, I will show it to you um, in a different video. But I certainly recommend this book. You will learn English, new words, and of course you will enjoy this story, especially because it's a well-known story, classic, Frankenstein, and the other books from this series are, I would say, actually well-known as well. So, no downsides for me. I would say it's a pretty good book. Regarding the story, I just didn't like how the story ends, and it's super different, um, the story of this creator, because as I already said, I had a different perspective, uh, not from the story, but about the creator and his behavior and this kind of thing. So that's the only thing that changed, and I didn't laugh, but I do recommend it. 4.5 stars out of 5, I would say. And regarding the English part for learning, that's just amazing. 10 out of 10. So yeah, if you want to read it, go ahead. You can find it, I'd say, in Gandhi, for example, if you are here from Mexico. I think it's also in Amazon. So Amazon is basically everywhere. And that could be it for today's video. Um, Thank you very much for watching, and just remember, this is not just a video review from a book, but I am also doing this kind of videos, not just to teach English, but to practice my own English. I know I made a lot of mistakes maybe while speaking. Both I'm still learning, I'm still practicing. I'm in a medium advanced level or advanced level, but I still practicing. And at the same time, I'm super nervous, because I'm usually I am behind the camera, not in front of the camera. So, uh, you know, having to control these nerves and to just wanted to clarify this, because I know there is a lot of haters outside. Anyway, thank you very much. I love practicing. I love doing these kind of videos, because I enjoy reading. I enjoy practicing English. I enjoy sharing it with you, books and maybe some things about English, about literature, etc. No, I love languages. So that would be it. Thank you very much. any kind of respectful comment or recommendation or whatever is, of course, going to be welcome. And well, that could be it. See you guys. Thank you very much. If you decide to buy the book, just text me and tell me if you like it. See you.
Hola, ¿cómo están? Estamos probando el audio, el video, todo, porque es un pedo. Vamos a ver cómo va.
So what is it about? In a nutshell, Frankenstein is a very well-known story. Sort of an investigator, man of science, who his family is actually sort of rich. Ta madre.